Hi guys, today we're going to do section 2.7, which is about solving proportions, and a lot of this will seem familiar to you, and then we'll have some new things. So first write down proportion, and I'm going to explain what a proportion is. Just grab my little toolbar here. Okay, so a proportion is just the equality of two ratios. Two ratios are just fractions. So let me move this up a little bit. We have two fractions that are equal to each other. A over B equals C over D. Two fractions that are equal. Now what's important to note is that AD and BC, the product of either of these, when you multiply them, which are called your cross products, they will be equal always in a proportion. Okay? So very important to note. Now, let's do some examples. We're going to be solving proportions here. And when you're solving a proportion, you're going to use your cross products. So in number 1, we're going to multiply 15 times C, and you get 15C. 15C equals, and then you're going to do 9 times 36, and you get 324. So now we're at a one-step equation. This is what we did last chapter, or last test, and we're going to divide both sides by 15 to figure out what C is. Divided by 15. So C equals 21.6. Now please make sure that your equal signs are lined up all the way down. I should see an equal sign here, an equal sign here, and an equal sign here, all lined up underneath each other. Okay, let's do another one. 4.8 times m is 4.8m. Equals, I do 1.5 times 16 is 24. Divide both sides by 4.8. M equals 5. Okay, so this is how you solve proportions. This stuff should be review for you. We are going to get to the harder ones. So first, let's do 3 and 4. If you think you know what you're doing, pause me and then kind of fast forward through me and see if you got both of them right. So I have 20x here equals 28. Divide both sides by 20. X equals 28 divided by 20 is 1.4. Next, we have 34n equals 6.8 times 50 is 340. Divide by 34. Just make sure I typed all that in right. Okay, good. Should be 10. Okay, now here are my harder ones, 5, 6, and then 7. So what you're going to do, same thing as you're going to do is you're going to do the cross products like we did in the last one. So 4, but you want to multiply it times this whole numerator. So you're going to be using parentheses, 4 times m minus 8 equals 5 times this whole thing, so 5 times the product of m plus 3. So 5 times, the sum of m plus 3. Then you do your distributive property, 4m, because now we're just solving an equation, minus 32 equals 5m plus 15. Now you have to collect like terms over the equal sign, so I'm going to subtract my 4m to both sides. Negative 32 equals, that'll be 1m or just m, plus 15. Subtract 15 to both sides. I'm just going to move this stuff down. Okay, and I get that m, and I'm going to move the m over here, equals negative 32 minus 15 is negative 47. Okay, so when you're seeing variables and you're seeing sums on top of the numerators or the denominators or differences, you're going to have to do the distributive property and then solve from there. So let's look at number 6. Number 6 looks a little easier. 6 times n is 6n equals 5 times this whole thing, 5 times 2n plus 4. Now I only have one pair of parentheses to deal with. Bring my 6n down. This will be 10n, because 5 times 2 is 10, plus 20. Got to collect like terms. I got to get my n's over here and my n over here together, so I'm going to subtract 10n. The reason why I don't bring the 6n over to my 10n is because then your 6n will leave this whole side of the balance empty, and then your equation can't be equal. Oops, I just X'd out the wrong one. Those cancel out, they equal 0. 6n's minus 10n's is negative 4n equals 20. Divide both sides by negative 4. N equals negative 5. All right, one more like this, just so you can kind of get the hang of it. Oh, did I lose it? Okay, it looks like it went away. So we're just going to move along to the word problems. Okay, word problems. I would like you to write down the first one, but not the second one, just to kind of save time. So we're writing down the first word problem, but not the second. 1. An architect builds a model of a building before the actual building is built. The model is 8 inches tall, and the actual building will be 22 feet tall. The model is 20 inches wide. Find the width of the building. So, hopefully you pause me and continue to write that down. What you want to do when you have a word problem and you're trying to figure out what the proportion you want to set up, you want to look at the units first. We have inches and we have feet. So what you're going to do is, my suggestion is to write inches over feet so you don't get confused. You're always going to put your inches on top and your feet on the bottom. If you wanted to put feet on top or inches on the bottom, it won't make a difference. This just helps to organize your information. The other two pieces of information that we have are model and actual. So we're going to look for pairs that go together. The model of the building is 8 inches tall, and the actual building will be 22 feet tall. So the 8 that we're talking about, these two are both heights. They're both tall. So 8 inches goes with 22 feet tall. So I'm pairing them up together. Equals, and then I have 20 inches wide for the model. Inches, the 20 inches I'm going to put on top for the model, but I don't know the width of the building. I don't know how many feet that is. So there's my proportion. There are many proportions you could write for this problem, but that's one of the ones we wrote. So now we're going to do cross products. 8x equals 20 times 22 is 440. Divide both sides by 8. X equals 55. We've got to go back and put units in. Now, X is on the level of the units, that is feet, so I know that this is feet. Plus, we're talking about the width of the actual building. The actual building is not going to be 55 inches wide. That would be very small. Okay, last problem. You do not have to write this one down. Alicia's class is making care packages for a local shelter. They can make 8 care packages, so 8 care packages with 22 food items. I'm going to just use a different color. 240 food items. How many care packages can they make with 500 food items? Okay, so I see that the 8 care packages goes with the 240 food items. And then we have 500 food items. So I have to decide, am I going to put that on top or on the bottom? Well, I know that these were the food items down here, and this was the care packages. So I don't know how many care packages are made with 500 items. And then we fill it in. We do our cross products. 240 x equals 8 times 500 is 4,000. Divided by 240. 4,000 divided by 240 gives me 16.6 repeating. Now, we're talking about a word problem here. It says how many care packages can they make? Well, you've made 16. You can't make that extra one because you're short. So you're going to say I can make 16 care packages. You need a little bit more food items to make that 17th one. You can't always round up. All right, that's it. Have a good one.